the 2011 campaign, celebrating last year's American League East title. But Baltimore right-hander Jeremy Guthrie's dazzling pitching performance spoiled the party. Tonight, Tampa Bay sends workhorse James Shields to the hill, searching for a bounce-back performance. Rays Orioles start now on Sun Sports. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the opening weekend of the 2011 Major League Baseball season continues. It will be the middle game of a three-game series pitting the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball. Dwayne Statz along with Brian Anderson. Todd Callis will join us throughout the evening as well. Well, last night didn't turn out as planned. The Rays dropped a 4-1 game. But one of the positives, Brian, coming out of that game was Ben Zobrist at the top of the lineup. Last year he hit everywhere in the lineup except ninth, and he certainly appeared to be comfortable last night. Yeah, well, Ben Zobrist coming off of a disappointing 2010 campaign, looking to have a bounce-back season, and he wasted no time getting started. Nice fast start for Ben Zobrist, and what really stood out, he had the 2 hits, hit the home run, base hit, very aggressive at the plate. He was four at-bats in last night's game. He only saw 8 pitches, so it'll be interesting to see if that's part of his game plan now, being aggressive. And then what can you say defensively? Very important for Ben Zobrist, too, because he plays all over the place. In the outfield, second base, made a nice play last night. Good start for Ben. And on the mound for the Rays, James Shields, he made 33 starts last year, over 200 innings pitched, and over the last 2 years against this Baltimore club, it's been feast or famine for James Shields. Yeah, James Shields overall good numbers against the Baltimore Orioles. 19-game start. He's got the 7-4 record, the good 3.63 earned run average. A little bit of payback, I think, on James Shields' mind. Last year, Baltimore got to him pretty good. 4 starts. He had an ERA of over 7. He threw 21 2/3 innings against him last year. 43 base runners, but right now I really like where James Shields is, both mentally and physically. I think he's ready to go and certainly eager to be out there. Shields threw the ball very well this spring, and he'll be opposed by a young right-hander, Chris Tillman, just a couple years ago considered the very best pitching prospect in their system, and they are still high on this young man they acquired from the Seattle organization. A lot of lefties in the lineup tonight for the Rays. Todd Callis will take a look at that lefty love when we return.
Game 2 of 162 in high definition right here on Sun Sports. Now, the Rays originally were supposed to face a lefty tonight, Brian Mattis, but due to an injury, Chris Tillman gets pushed up from Sunday start to Saturday start. And for the Rays against right-handers, they seem to have a pretty set lineup, which includes in the 5 spot, Dan Johnson, in the 7 spot tonight, Matt Joyce, and Reed Brignac either in the 8 or 9 spot. And you can see their splits against righties as opposed to lefties, and Dan Johnson has hit well against both, but the other guys obviously do better against right-handed pitchers. And for Joe Madden, he really feels like his lineup's a little more stable when facing an opposing right-hander. And our Geico quote of the day.
I would say the lineup against the righties is going to be a little bit more comfortable to write down as opposed to the lineup against lefties. That moment right behind Manny, I'm not sure yet. Because regardless of, again, how anybody would like to break it down, a fact is a fact. I mean, if a guy's not that good against right-handed pitcher and you want to chance that in a different situation, so be it. But I don't like to chance it under those circumstances. So there's a lot of different reasons why that order is going to stack up the way it does.
Joe Madden with today's quote of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. We are ready for baseball. Vladimir Guerrero and the Orioles, Manny Ramirez and the Rays. We'll have all the action with Wayne and Brian next, right here on Sun Sports.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And by AT&T. Welcome back to Tropicana Field. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Rays won the season series last year from the Orioles and dropped the first game last night 4-1. We'll take a look at the Baltimore starting lineup. Brian Roberts again leads off, the switch hitting second baseman, followed by Nick Markakis. Derek Lee hits third. Vladimir Guerrero is the DH. Luke Scott in left with Adam Jones in center. Mark Reynolds hits seventh and third. Matt Wieters will do the catching, and the shortstop batting ninth is J.J. Hardy.
And right-hander James Shields takes the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. You see the numbers from last season. Disappointing from James compared to what he usually puts up, but what you see right there, the 203 1/3 innings, 4th straight season of over 200 innings for James Shields, first Ray pitcher to ever do that, also career high with 187 strikeouts. Now let's take a look at that Ray defense as it sets up behind James Shields left to right in the outfield. Damon, Upton, and Joyce across the infield, third to first. Longoria, Brignac, Zobrist, and Johnson. Kelly Shoppett gets the start behind the plate tonight. Defense is brought to you by Sweet Bay, home of the Sweet Spot.
There's the Rays skipper, Joe Madden. Joe not overly concerned about last night's 4-1 loss, recognizing it's one of 162, and he has a club he's still slowly bringing together. And there's Buck Showalter, skipper of the Baltimore Orioles. Buck was known as Nat until he got to the minor leagues in 1977. His given name Nathaniel, and Ed Napoleon, his first minor league manager, started to call him Buck, and he's been Buck ever since. Fly ball to right, and Joyce cannot come up with it. Roberts makes the turn at first and hangs on there. So Brian Roberts, going after the first pitch, drops it into shallow right field as Joyce made a diving attempt.
Matt Joyce coming in, trying to make a tough play, gets there, ball just off the heel of the glove. That was a big swing by Brian Roberts, kind of hit it off the end of the bat. Matt Joyce had a chance, but instead of coming up a little bit short, he was a little bit long on the dive.
Yeah, and Matt walking around out there in right field, in his heart, he thinks he should have caught that ball.
Well, he definitely got to it, but sometimes hitter takes a big swing like that and doesn't hit it square. You pause for a second to try to get a read on the ball, and then obviously that forces the dive, and when you're diving, that's a tough play to make.
Nick Markakis in the batter's box. Well, and the thing about a play like that, if you're a young outfielder, you're disappointed, but you have to just put that one away and concentrate on the next hitter, as the pitcher does. And Markakis takes a pitch outside.
And that is very important in this game. I mean, this is a game based on failure. I mean, good hitters hit 300. They fail 70% of the time. And you have to have a short memory if you want to be successful in the game of baseball.
And you're right, Brian. As simple as that is to recognize, and every player recognizes that, but it's something else to get to the point where you can actually put that aside in a matter of seconds and concentrate on what's happening next, and you just absolutely have to do that. It's tougher than you might think.
Yep. Well, Tom Hanks and A League of Their Own, there's no crying in baseball. There's also no pouting. You better turn it around quick.
And a quick move to first. Roberts is back in.
And sorry, that was Jimmy Dugan, not Tom Hanks.
That's right.
I want to use his proper name.
Exactly. It's for the good of the art. So a runner at first here in the first, and a 1-1 count. Markakis out in front of that changeup. Boy, that had, as we've seen Shields through the years, he has such great delivery on that changeup.
Well, when he's headed directly towards home plate with his mechanics and working top to bottom, that pitch bottoms out. Arguably the best changeup in baseball.
A little bit wide right there, but not by much. Tried to start that one wide and have it break over. And it just stayed out there.
Yeah, that was the backdoor cutter. Just stayed off the plate. That's a pitch I think last year that James Shields fell in love with a little bit too much. That's a pitch you can surprise a guy with it, pick up some strikeouts in a count like that, but it has to be set up properly. If not, it becomes very hittable.
And now the count is full. Markakis took the change.
You know, that's a pitch, that backdoor cutter that he likes to use against left-handed hitters. You know, that's good for when you get ahead of a guy, maybe you shoot a four-seam fastball off the plate away. Get the hitter looking out there. Okay, that pitch is away, I'm going to take it. Then you drop that backdoor cutter, he gives up on it, and you catch the outside corner. In that instance, he throws it right after a changeup, not really set up properly, and actually didn't even induce a swing, it was off the plate.
going 3-2, and the pitch is ball 4. He came in with a fastball and missed. So Roberts is on second, and Markakis goes to first via the base on balls.
Now, the one thing I'll say is, obviously, you don't want to walk anybody, and James Shields, always a guy who limits his walks over the course of a game, over the course of a season. But when he's missing right now, he's missing down in the zone. That is the good sign. Working that ball top to bottom, adjust the sights a little bit. It's a lot easier to go from down, bring it up a little bit, than have to try to get the ball down. He's missing up at the chest.
And that was the point of all of that discussion about the off-season workouts and what he tried to accomplish. Derek Lee fouls it out of play. And Lee is a guy who, if you can induce a ground ball, you've got a chance to get a couple.
With the good sinker and the good changeup, a couple of good pitches to get that ground ball. Derek Lee, not a flyer.
One ball, one strike. Yeah, that's why it's so important to get ahead that first pitch, and we saw that last night out of Jeremy Guthrie. He seemed to be ahead all night.
Well, you take the aggressiveness away from the hitter. If he's down 0-2, 1-2, now he's just looking to put the ball in play. He's not quite as aggressive with his swing. He can get a lot of bad contact.
A ball, 2 strikes. Fastball was in on him a bit right there.
There's James Shields. Derek Lee's a big guy. Big guy, long arms, long swing. He's trying to keep that ball close to him, trying to jam him.
And a foul ball, just a little piece of that one.
And it's a good thing that Derek Lee does have long arms, because that was a good changeup, middle of the plate down, and he's able to reach out and just get a piece of it. Close to picking up a big strikeout here. Ball bottoming out. You see how far he had to reach out there, and just did get it off the end of the bat.
35-year-old first baseman. Wave and a miss, and boy, did that changeup have some action on it. Lee is out on strikes, and boy, Shields threw a great changeup there.
Comes right back with it. What makes that changeup so effective for James is it's so good that he can throw it over the middle of the plate. He can catch a lot of plate with it because of the action on it, the way that it bottoms out. He doesn't have to try to go to a corner. He can be aggressive out over the plate. Derek Lee sees that as a fastball, knee high, 2 strikes, I got to swing at it. By the time he realizes changeup, too late.
Here's Guerrero. And as we discussed last night, I don't care what kind of pitcher you are, if you throw 95 or if you've got a great changeup or a great slider or a great 2-seamer or a great curveball, all bets are off when this guy's at the plate. Because he has that great reach, and he's swinging at everything.
Yes, he kicked the rosin bag up there, and he'll swing at it.
2 strikes now.
And he's tough to pitch to because there's really no pattern that works with him. I mean, you know, certain pitches working that night. Maybe you're going to go with it. You try to mix your patterns with him from at bat to at bat, and just move the ball around, because you stay in one spot. He, like you said, Dwayne, he can reach everything.
Yeah, the frustrating thing is you can make a great pitch of this guy, and he's going to get some bat on it, and he might drop it in someplace. Not this time, though. Boy, Shields has thrown some great changeups, and he threw another one to Guerrero. Back-to-back strikeouts of Lee and Guerrero.
Yeah, and how about this changeup from Shields? He goes to the outside corner with it. Make Guerrero reach. He's got some good action on that pitch. That lets you know right there that he's locked in mechanically, and he's really working that ball top to bottom when you get that kind of action and those kind of swings from 2 pretty good hitters in Derek Lee and Vladimir Guerrero.
Now Luke Scott. And that pitch, a breaking ball, and a pretty good one. I tell you, That was close. Ball says Wally Bell. I'll tell you this, Shields looks good. His delivery looks very good out there right now. 2-0.
Well, he made it a point to work all off season. Try to come in this year and have a better year, mechanically be more sound, be more consistent. And he had a tremendous spring, and that builds confidence. So he comes into this start sky high mentally.
Fastball. 2-1.
Keeping those mechanics simple, driving right towards home plate. Not as big, you know, Shields so often that head would jerk towards first base, and that would carry his whole body that way. And that's something he's always going to have a little bit of that head moving that way, but not nearly as much as last year, driving directly towards home plate.
Boy, that last shot, that was a great shot. I mean, I wouldn't mind to see something like that again. Just to see a guy's delivery, that was excellent.
Everything working directly towards home plate.
He follows the fastball up with that changeup, and it's 2-2. Take a look at this one.
The good arm action. Look at that. Keep that ball right on the outside corner on the black.
Here's that delivery again.
Everything compact, short, directly towards home plate. You see,
I don't think I've ever seen him with a delivery this good, to tell you the truth. I mean, we've seen just about every start he's made.
Yeah, right.
Ground ball, foul. I mean, you know, you never know what happens. You know the nature of this game, but this is really encouraging.
Well, he's not pulling out of there. You know, so often, like, you know, when James Shields struggles, it's when he starts to over-rotate, pull towards first base. You know, pull the head out of there a little bit too soon. Once you do that, the arm kind of flattens out, the stuff will flatten out, it'll be elevated, and it's hittable. And you're able to keep it short, compact, everything moving towards home plate, getting on top of the baseball and driving it downhill. All of your stuff is going to benefit, and we're seeing that here in the early going.
Scott gets time from Wally Bell. And that ran inside. That'll take the count full.
We've cut fastball there that just got yanked.
So with 2 outs and runners at first and second, they'll be breaking on this full count pitch. Shields facing Luke Scott, who led this Baltimore team in home runs last year. He hit 27. He was the Orioles MVP a year ago. Fly ball, center field. Upton going back. He has room and makes the catch, and the Orioles leave a couple. No runs, and the Rays are coming in to hit, looking for a couple runs. Leaving a couple men on base there to get out of that spot. And the Rays and the Orioles scoreless as the Rays come in to hit in the bottom of the first. Ben Zobrist leads it off, followed by Johnny Damon and Evan Longoria. Manny Ramirez is the DH. Dan Johnson hits fifth. B.J. Upton in center sixth, followed by Matt Joyce, Kelly Shoppick, and Reed Brignac.
Making the start tonight for the Baltimore Orioles is right-hander Chris Tillman. You see what he did in some limited duty last year with the big club. 11 starts. Had 2 starts against the Rays. Did not fare all that well. 0-1 with a 12.38 earned run average.
Zobrist takes the first pitch. Down and in, a ball and no strikes. You know, the thought occurred to me that in the leadoff spot last night, he saw just 8 pitches. And I think there's a method to that approach. Given the kind of game Guthrie was pitching, you know, in the second at bat in the third inning, he did go to 2-2. So he saw 5 pitches, and in all the other at bats, he was swinging early in the count. And that's not a bad approach with a guy like Guthrie, who was right on last night.
No, Guthrie, that was as good as I've seen just about any pitcher throw.
Yep.
And if you want to sit back and work the count, you're going to be 0-2.
Yep.
And that does not lead to a whole lot of success. So, you know, Jeremy Guthrie out there pounding the strike zone from the very beginning of the game. Ben Zobrist took that aggressive approach, and it worked out for him. A couple of hits, a home run.
And here he is, 3-1 on the right-hander Tillman. A long foul ball, and see, worked the count 3-1.
Well, that's paying attention to the scouting report. Chris Tillman is a guy that the Baltimore Orioles are hoping this is the year for a breakout season. He's done about all he can do in the minor leagues. Good season last year in AAA. He threw a no-hitter for Norfolk. But where he gets into trouble, bad counts.
And a pop-up left side. Reynolds after it, and he catches up to it, making the grab and then sliding on the AstroTurf. So Zobrist is out of there. Well, Tillman is a guy, for example, all you have to do is look at his numbers with the Orioles last year. A little over 53 innings. He struck out 31, and he walked 31.
Way too many base runners. Almost a base runner and a half per inning. Mark Reynolds had to run a long way to make that catch, and then see the slide. But yeah, that's what's given him fits. Is he's tall, he's got that good lean pitcher's body, works the ball downhill, but too often tries to pick early in the count. He falls behind, gets himself into situations where he's 2-1, 3-1, 2-0. Has to come in with the fastball, and it's very hittable.
That's a foul ball, says Laz Diaz, and boy, that was just foul. Johnny Damon had a good look at it down the first base line, and Laz Diaz says that's just foul.
Johnny Damon getting fastball close to him. Just foul. And I mean just foul.
Don't you think at least one of the seams might have been fair? It's down.
Only if the other team hits it.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take the count to 2-2. When Tillman came over from Seattle, he was part of the Adam Jones deal that sent Eric Bedard to Seattle, and the Orioles were elated to get him. He's still only 23 years old. I guess he'll be 23 the middle of this month, in a couple of weeks. Full count now. And they liked his fastball. It tended to straighten out a little bit, but they really liked his curveball. Swing and a miss, and he gets the fastball strikeout of Johnny Damon.
Well, let's take a look at the Oriole defense as it lines up behind Chris Tillman. Left to right in the outfield, Luke Scott, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis across the infield. Third to first, Mark Reynolds, J.J. Hardy, Brian Roberts, and Derek Lee. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Tonight's defense is brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the Sweet Spot.
Here's Evan Longoria. Pitch is too high. 2 outs, base is empty. And a foul ball straight back and over us into the upper deck. So Souvenir upstairs. The count is 1-1. I'm relying on you to field your position. See, it's only second row up there in the upper deck, so it's pretty close to us.
Well, now that I'm back in my chair after crawling out from underneath the desk here, yeah.
See how close? Right there.
I didn't see it. As soon as I headed back this way, I dove. I couldn't comment on it. I was getting out of the way.
I'm counting on you, though.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to have a few, too. This is prime position.
Yeah, in the past we have had a few, but we've also still looking for that first foul ball back here, aren't we?
He'll be here all week, everybody.
3-1 outside for ball 4, and the Rays have a base runner. Longoria draws the walk. Look at Manny Ramirez up there against this young right-hander. So Manny looking for his first hit in a Rays uniform. See a combined effort last year for Ramirez on those numbers posted.
Got a lot of gum stuck in his hair, appears.
The pitch is in there. A strike. A fastball starts him. You know, the Orioles and Guthrie last night went right to work on Manny. They challenged him with a fastball in. Of course, Guthrie had great command of all of his pitches last night.
Oh, and Guthrie, too, has that late movement. Chris Tillman, not the same kind of fastball as far as movement goes. I'm trying to test and see how quick that bat of Manny Ramirez is.
And he picks up the corner with a fastball. The count is 0-2.
And you don't need a whole lot of movement if you're going to paint like that. That straight four-seamer right down the black.
Runner at first, 2 outs. Well, Joe Madden said that he wanted his team to be hairy this year, and between Longoria and Ramirez and the beard of David Martinez, they're taking him to heart.
Joe gets the best out of his players. He knows how to do it.
Come on, man. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back in front of the track, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Rays lead 1. We're through 1. No score. Shields back to the hill for the Rays. And as we take a look at the Toyota trend, you see Shields through the years, and every year he's given the Rays, he's kept them in every game almost, and he's given them quality innings in that rotation.
Been very durable. We talked a little earlier, 4 straight season of 200+ innings. And, you know, for James Shields, that's his goal going into any season, because if you're going to pitch and get over 200 innings, you know, you make 30-some starts, you've got to be pitching deep into the game, and by doing that, you give your team a chance to win.
Be sure to visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward. Adam Jones takes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike. So this game moving forward into the second inning. Ground ball third. Right there's Longoria. That Gold Glove makes the pickup. So Jones is out of there, third to first.
That's why as a third baseman, you better have quick reflexes. This is a sinker moving down and in. When a hitter swings down on that, he's going to hit it hard. Fortunately, it's right at Evan. Easy little lollipop over to first base for out number 1.
And you know, Brian, that ball seemed to be pretty true coming off the AstroTurf. And new turf, you know, they've played a little bit on it, and it's always interesting to see how the ball comes off the turf toward the skin part of the infield.
Well, down there during batting practice today, talking to Evan Longoria, and he said he loves how this turf plays. I'll tell you what, you get down there, it's easy on the eye. I mean, it looks like real grass, and he said it plays outstanding.
Yeah, but there's a Gold Glove talking. Oh, nice change up there. Big cut and a miss by Mark Reynolds. The count is 1-1.
Well, you figure Mark Reynolds being so aggressive, a fastball hitter, a lot of power, a lot of strikeouts. The changeup would come into play with him all night long.
There it is again. 1-2. And Todd Callis, as he always does, is on top. I mean, we can bring up a topic, and he is right there, ready to expound upon it, and he'll have more about the AstroTurf and really get down and dirty, if you will, and inside with the ground crew. Another change, and Reynolds is out of there. These great minds think alike.
Well, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, he's an aggressive fastball swinging guy. I mean, he goes after the heater. He wants to hit home runs. And, you know, prone to the strikeout, I don't even think does him justice. That right there, that pitch barely got over home plate. 3 straight changeups. That's something that Mark Reynolds can plan on seeing all night long.
Matt Wieters.
You know, what's even better about that sequence, Dwayne, is the recognition of James Shields. I mean, he's got a good enough changeup that he can double up and sometimes triple up, but that's not, you know, something that you like to do a lot with the off speed. But recognizing that he didn't have a chance on it, he kept going to it.
1-1. What you really like about Shields tonight, and I think last year, because some of that, I guess it would go back to that mechanical issue where some of his pitches essentially were flat because it was a side-to-side situation as opposed to top-to-bottom. Ground ball down to Zobrist, and he takes care of it from second, and another good inning. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the second. No score.
As we are scoreless, let's check in with our Auto-Way text poll question of the night. And the question is this: which Rays performer do you think is going to have a breakout season? TB1, Reed Brignac. TB2, Matt Joyce. TB3, the guy leading off the inning, Dan Johnson. TB4, that guy, Sean Rodriguez. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. And again, just a little teaser there. Todd will have more on that AstroTurf story later in the telecast. So stay with us for that. Dan Johnson takes a strike, and the home half of the second inning is underway.
You've got me anxiously awaiting, Wayne. I mean, what was Todd doing out on that AstroTurf?
I'm anxious to see. There's a strike at the knees. 0-2. When Todd gets his teeth into a story, I mean, you're going to get something out of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And, you know, all the fun aside, it's a serious thing. You put the new turf down, and if you're one of those infielders, I mean, you want to know.
Yeah. Well, that's why you saw the Rays come up here a couple of times during spring training, specifically to come over, bring a group of guys over to the field to test it out.
Johnson taps it down to Lee at first, and off the mound Tillman covers first. So Dan is the first out. He's going to get B.J. Upton to the plate. B.J. swung the bat well this spring, had a double in last night's game, and then was involved in that somewhat controversial play when he was caught. He was thinking in terms of a potential double steal with men at first and second, and he took off a little too soon. You know, and that's something that, all right, he broke a little too early and got the rundown, and probably was a victim of obstruction that wasn't called. But the fact that he broke too early and got caught in that rundown will not stop the Rays from being aggressive. And Joe Madden's the first guy to tell all of these guys, you keep doing what you're doing.
But pick your spots a little bit better than that. That was a situation where even if you want the double steal, at that point in the game, the Rays are down by 4 runs.
Yeah.
BJ's run, even the run behind him, don't mean a thing at that point. You're going to have to put some hits together, get some things going. You know, you're going to steal third base or attempt to steal third base. You had better know that you're going to make it, and better time it up good. But right there, that's not the time to even test it.
Well, that's what I think what BJ was thinking there, because they weren't checking it. And he thought that he could steal it, and I think he wanted to make sure he did, and that led to the early break. And it turned out to be what, traditionally speaking, would not be the conventional move that you'd want to make. But there it is.
Yep. Well, he definitely right here, as he goes back, J.J. Hardy trying to get out of the way, runs right into him, calls out of the baseline. Yeah, at that point, he is out of the baseline. So that was a definite bad call on B.J. Upton, but that call was as bad as the decision to try to steal third base. There was just no reason to go right there.
The body reaction of J.J. Hardy, he confessed immediately.
He sold it. I mean, he sold it.
3-2 to B.J., and he's jammed and pops it up. Roberts at second. So that'll be out number 2. Reminder, in tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. But the point Madden was making, he wants this team to be aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to make physical mistakes, you're going to make them. Don't make mental mistakes, but be aggressive and keep after it.
Well, anytime you're aggressive on the base paths, you add the element of pressure to the defense. And when you add the element of pressure, you will create more mistakes. Be able to capitalize on those. And I think, also, good teams are accountable. They're accountable for their actions. They're accountable for the things that they do. And BJ, where, Joe doesn't mind the physical mistakes. I think that him trying to, go in that situation was a mental mistake. And even BJ came out and said, you know what? I got to be smarter than that. I tried to get a little bit too aggressive in that situation. My run doesn't mean anything. I made a mistake. That is a good sign. Accountable for your actions, saying, hey, listen, I made a mistake. It's going to happen over the course of 162 games. I'll get them tomorrow. That's a great approach by BJ.
And Joyce stays alive. Got a little piece of that one. Was out in front of a changeup there by Tillman. And the count squares at 2-2. Ball off a breaking ball. I'm not sure we've seen it yet, but Tillman essentially with that curveball, fastball, and a changeup. And when he threw that no-hitter in the minor leagues, he broke out the cutter and has gotten a little more confident with that pitch.
I think that was it right there, Twain.
And so the count goes full. So that's a pitch that you will see from him now.
He just cuts that down and in. For the most part, cutter, you want to keep it same plane so the hitter thinks that he's swinging at a fastball out over the plate instead of hitting on the barrel.
And ball 4 as he threw the changeup, and Joyce laid off this time.
He's been mixing his pitches well here in the early going, but he gets 2-2 on Matt Joyce and then goes with a cutter that he yanks down and in. And then with nobody on base, the full count changeup. And that's not, that's down the list as far as his stuff goes. You like to see him, if he wants to go off speed, challenge him with the curveball, go with that as opposed to his third pitch, which is a changeup.
Now here's Kelly Shopik in here against the right-hander. And he shoots this one foul, jumped on the first pitch and hits it hard. Fastball lined out of play. Shopik has only 3 at-bats against Tillman, but 2 hits off him, and one of them a home run. And so Shopik is in the lineup against the right-hander tonight.
Yeah, and I think, Joe Madden in those, having those, 3 at-bats with the home run, some success off this guy. And on top of that, doesn't have that big movement, kind of throws over the top so the ball stays true, a little Iron Mike-ish.
Joyce back in at first. Joyce trying to get as big a lead as he could.
I would demonstrate the Iron Mike, but
well, that's hey, you can't demonstrate everything the second night of the season. It's a long season, and we're going to have a lot of time for you to demonstrate a lot of things, and I'm looking forward to all of those.
Some of which will make the air.
Joyce again with the lead. And now snap throw to first. Well, he's drawing a lot of attention, and I'll tell you, he's getting out there like a base stealer. He's stretching that lead, setting up.
Well, here you are. You've got 2 outs, so you want to be aggressive again. You talk about being aggressive on the base pass. He gets out there. Rays are always looking to go from first to third. You draw a throw right there. Those are the kind of situations where sometimes the catcher in his haste to fire the ball down to first base will fire that ball down to the right field corner. You can pick up a couple bases.
It's upstairs. He had Tillman with that pitch kind of rushing it to the plate a little bit. How strange is that? You've got Joyce, who's obviously not a base stealing threat, but he's made his presence felt over there. And Tillman out of the stretch rushed that pitch to the plate.
Yeah, he certainly has the attention of Chris Tillman and Matt Wieters for that matter.
Pop straight back, and that will carry out of play. So the count is square.
And that's
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's what you're talking about by being aggressive. All of a sudden you get Chris Tillman thinking a little bit too much about Matt Joyce, which is going to affect the quality of his pitch to Kelly Shopping. You got Matt Wieters firing the ball down to first. You start to add that element of pressure, get guys, out of their game a little bit, divide their mind. You get a chance for them to make a mistake, and then you capitalize. That is what Joe Madden and this Ray Ball Club is all about, 1 through 9.
Swing and a miss. Shopping swung through the fastball to retire the side. On to the third. No score.
Hey, Rays fans, don't miss another minute of the action. Only at the ballpark can you get the best seats, biggest savings, and all the fantastic benefits by becoming a Rays season ticket holder. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today.
There's James Shields. 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. He's given up a hit and a walk, and he faces J.J. Hardy to begin the third. Ball 1. We've seen a good mixture of pitches from Shields as well, which is the other thing that's encouraging about this. I think there were times last year when because of that mechanical issue, he'd struggle and he'd look for a pitch to rely on, and you just can't do that no matter how good it is. We've heard Jim Hickey talk about him using a curveball to help keep people off the changeup. Same thing with the fastball. I think there were times last year when the fastball was overused. High pop. Shopping back of the plate makes the catch. Hardy is out number 1. But we've seen a very good mixture of pitches here in the early stages of this game, and with good command and good delivery.
Too predictable. Last year, at times, James Shields would get too predictable. And I'll tell you something, Dwayne, you alluded to the overuse of the fastball. You remember he had that stretch of games where he was getting into double digits in strikeouts, and he had the extra hump on his fastball. He's getting it up there 93, 94 miles an hour, and I think he started to fall in love with it, and almost, where he's a back and forth guy. He does have a good fastball with good movement, but it's made even better because of the changeup, because of the mix. He almost took on the persona of a straight 4-seam fastball power pitcher. That's not his strength, and it cost him.
Sure, that's right. I find myself in agreement with you again. Now, how exciting can this
Because I just
broadcast
basically
be?
repackaged what you just said. Changed a few words around and threw it right back out there for everybody.
Wow. I mean, this harmonious stuff is, I don't know if it's going to sell. 2-1 to count to Roberts. Well, I'll tell you what will sell is what Shields has been doing so far tonight. And that's been good. To pop the foul the other way, out of play. The count is 2-2.
I thought that was the worst thing that happened to him last year when he started running up those big strikeout numbers, because his first 9 starts of the year, he was 5-1 with an ERA barely over 3. That was about the time he put up those big strikeout numbers, kind of changed the way he pitched, and after that, an ERA of over 6 in his last 24 starts of the season.
Count still 2-2 to Roberts. Yeah, I think you're right about that, and you know, there aren't many pitchers who have the potential to command as many pitches as he does, and that really is who he is as a pitcher and sets him apart. Look at that. He had Roberts out in front and strikes him out on the changeup. So 4 strikeouts, and they've all come on the changeup.
Make the most of your free time with TampaBay.com/things to do. Whether you're looking for children's activities, restaurant deals, insider tips, and more, you'll find it all at TampaBay.com/things to do. Powered by the St. Petersburg Times.
Nick Markakis. There's the first pitch strike. Markakis walked his first time. One and one. Hardy and Roberts retired. Markakis batting with the bases empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, I was just looking at Shields' numbers from last year that I've kept, and you're right. You know, the early part of the year, he had a 12 strikeout game, a 10 strikeout game, and then a start in between, and then another 10 strikeout game, and that was by the middle of May.
And that was where I think that unconsciously he started thinking about becoming a power pitcher. Kind of changed the way he pitched, because it was after his start going after May 20th. He had to start on May 25th, and from that point on, his season was clearly different.
And the changeup takes care of Markakis. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. 5 strikeouts for Shields. Brenyak, Zobrist, and Damon do up, no score. All this year with your family, friends, and coworkers. 2011 group party areas and suites are available now. Reserve your exclusive area today by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. Reed Brignac opens and misses a changeup. Tillman taking a page out of James Shields' book right there. A changeup to start Brignac in the bottom of the third. Reed sees another changeup and fouls this one. Got a little piece of it. So he's been out in front of both these pitches.
And Chris Tillman, that changeup for him has been a under construction type of pitch. Trying to work on it, get it to be a more effective pitch.
And the roller to short, handled by Hardy.
Well, that shows you right there. And that at bat, you've got two good changeups. You speed up the batter, Reed Brignac. What that does is it takes an 88, 90 mile an hour fastball and adds a little bit to it. So now all of a sudden you got to protect against that changeup. Is he going to throw it again? He rushes in there, a fastball, not overpowering, but it ate up Reed Brignac's thumbs.
And that's exactly right. It registered 88 on the gun. Now a breaking ball to Zobrist for a strike.
And the swing by Reed Brignac looked like it read 93.
Yeah.
It's because of that changeup.
Well, what happened there is that fastball was 88 and Reed's swing was 86. So he got the ground ball.
He did swing into third straight changeup.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. After strike, it's 2-2. Every hitter for the Rays, and Zobrist would be the 10th hitter in this game for the Rays. They've all seen at least 4 pitches except Brignac, who just grounded out on 3 pitches. So they've seen a minimum of 4 pitches in every at bat. And that foul ball runs the total to 6 in this at bat for Zobrist. High. There's a curveball upstairs. The count is full. Second straight time that Ben has worked the count to 3-2. He bounces it foul. So in contrast, last night when Ben saw 8 pitches all night and 4 trips to the plate, he's seen 8 pitches in this at bat alone tonight. And the difference is who's on the mound. They want to try to make Tillman work, see a lot of pitches. And another foul ball. So this is a 9-pitch at bat. He saw 6 pitches in the first inning. So 15 so far tonight seen by Zobrist against Tillman. And a shot back into right. Markakis back and makes the catch, reaching up as he hit the track. Couple steps back on the track, and a nice running grab by Markakis. Zobrist made a bid for an extra base hit.
Ben Zobrist puts a nice swing on it, but Nick Markakis was already playing deep. Good defensive outfielder. He goes out. A little bit of a reach there at the end, makes a nice running catch.
Now it's Johnny Damon. Johnny looks at a strike. Pops it up. Breaking ball got him. This time Markakis comes in. And the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. On to the 4th. No score. Scoreless game. We go to the fourth inning. James Shields making the start for the Rays tonight. So far, so good.
Yeah, well, you see James Shields right here. Very compact. He's picking up home plate early. You see that? Getting ready to drive directly towards home plate. And you see that direction. Directly with the front hip right at home plate. And picking up the hitter right there. And then you see last year. Over-rotating. Well, you've got to be almost perfect when you rotate that far. As the hip rotates back towards second base, the only way it can get back to home plate is you've got to rotate it all the way back. And if you're not spot on with your mechanics and your timing, you'll over-rotate and get around the baseball and it'll flatten out on you.
The thing that I see on that, and I would certainly defer to you, but the long and the short of it, he seems to be so much more compact now, which is easier to manage. Two balls and a strike to count to Derek Lee. He started him with a strike on a breaking ball. Now 2-1. Sharply hit through the left side, a base hit. And Lee is aboard with the second Baltimore hit. That came off a fastball. So for the second time in 4 innings, the Orioles have the leadoff man on. Vladimir Guerrero will be the hitter. That's a strike to Guerrero. Off speed. Shields got Guerrero on 3 pitches in the first inning and used that changeup very effectively against him. And a little tap to third. Longoria to second out there. First base 2. 5-4-3. Well, he got that one in, broke his bat on the fastball, and coaxes the 5-4-3 double play ball out of Guerrero.
I'll tell you something else. The good mechanics by James Shields will do it. It will give you late movement, and that's what happened right there on Vladimir Guerrero. That fastball got in quick, jammed him. Evan with a great feed there on the run. Vladimir doesn't run like he used to. They're able to turn it. There's your checkers double of the game. I'll tell you something else. We talked early in the pregame about Evan Longoria and his defense making all the plays. How about his arm, his feeds, whether it's on the run, whether it's flat-footed, whether he's stepping into it. On that double play, he puts the ball in the right spot just about every time.
Pitch to Scott is down. Yeah, that's something he's done, I think, from the first time we saw him play third. You're right, regardless of the angle, position, wherever, that feed to second base is exactly where it should be practically every time.
I know. He can make that throw in his sleep, and what's so impressive is he doesn't have to have his feet set to do it. Throw it off one foot, and he can throw it from his knees. You see him go down to his knees and make that flip, and it's right there. First base side of the bag, chest high.
And the strike. 1-2. Base is empty. Scott went to 3-2 in the first before Shields got him on a fly ball. And he tried to get that one outside to cut over, but it stayed away. 2-2. Threw him a curveball to strike him out. Strikeout number 6. The other 5 have been on changeups. This one on the curve. Longoria leads off the bottom of the 4th, scoreless. into bottom of the fourth inning. Just a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in tonight's game. Listen to this. The sound alone makes you thirsty. Evan Longoria will lead off the bottom of the fourth against Chris Tillman. Pitch stayed up. Tried to start him with a curveball that didn't bite. And neither did Longoria. And a liner into center, and it's going to hang up and be caught by Jones. So Longoria sort of served that one into center field, and it stayed up long enough for Adam Jones to make the catch.
Yeah, he did. He just kind of flipped that ball out there. Adam Jones, a good defender out there in center, is able to run in, make that catch. The ball kind of floated. I'll tell you what, you'd like to see a little bit more of an aggressive swing in a 1-0 count. That was almost a protection type swing.
Manny Ramirez, and he takes a strike. You know, I think Evan, I was watching him in batting practice, and I just don't think that right now he is as comfortable as he normally is. A ground ball handled by the first baseman Lee, and he seemed to be trying to work his way there. And maybe a swing like that, maybe the next step is for him now to be comfortable and be aggressive.
Yeah, well, that's what it looked like. That's what that swing looked like. You know, you take a curveball, ball one, you're up in the count now 1-0. You can afford to be aggressive. That looked like a swing where he was just kind of feeling for the ball out there. Maybe a swing that you take when you're 0-2, and maybe that's going to be a strike, and I got to stick my bat out there, try to put it in play. That was not your typical Evan Longoria 1-0 hack, where you're coming out of your shoes trying to drive the ball. In fact, when Evan's locked in, he doesn't even swing at that pitch. He takes that for ball two and goes to work. He kind of just felt the bat out there and kind of flipped it into center field. Certainly not a comfortable at bat at all.
2-0 is popped up straight back. Wieters makes the catch, and it's a quick inning. 1, 2, 3. On to the fifth. Still scoreless. Then right here, and it's time to look at the upcoming race schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. See the Orioles in town tomorrow. Wade Davis makes the start, and then the Angels are in here Tuesday and Wednesday. So mark that on your calendars as we look forward to the upcoming race schedule. You can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. Fifth inning. Adam Jones, the center fielder for Baltimore, stepping in. First pitch, Shields throws him a fastball. That's a strike. Jones, Reynolds, And Wieters due up. And there's the strike, a curveball. 0-2. Shields with 6 strikeouts. He's walked 1. He's given up no runs on 2 hits. And into right center field. Joyce closes and makes the catch. So that is out number 1 here in the 5th. And Shields continues to be locked in.
Well, Dwayne, we've been beating, James Shields' mechanics to death, so we'll do it one more time. James Shields this year, much more compact, and when you're able to be compact like that, you create a little bit of leverage, and you're able to get on top of the ball and drive it downhill. Last year, a little bit too rotational. He'd get going back this way towards second base. Well, when you do that, you rotate back like that, start showing that number to the hitter. Now you can only rotate back this way. Well, when you're going this way, side to side, tough to get on top of the ball and drive it downhill. You get around it, you start to pull off of it, it flattens out, it stays elevated, it gets hit hard.
Yeah, you tend to leave that pitch on the same plane too long.
Yeah.
And hitters just love that, don't they?
Yeah, well, absolutely. They see that ball big up there, it's flat, the movement on it, instead of being a good sink where it darts down, it kind of fades. It's more of a fade than it is a true sinker. And boy, hitters, they see the ball a long time and it doesn't have that good crisp movement on it. It's a sitting duck.
2-1 the count to Reynolds. Well, the bottom line is one of the reasons and I talk about scouts, and there's another swing and a miss on a changeup to Reynolds. They love guys who are 6'3". as opposed to guys who are 5'10" to be pitchers for that very reason.
Yes, you want to see him drive the ball downhill, not nearly as exaggerated a turn towards second base as last year, and you see the head picking up home plate a lot sooner.
And Reynolds is out on strikes, so he continues to work him over with that changeup. 7 strikeouts for Shields tonight. 6 have come on the changeup.
Yeah, no secret there. He's going to keep attacking Mark Reynolds with the changeup. Mark Reynolds knows that. That tells you how good the changeup is for James Shields. He knows it's coming, still cannot lay off of it, and he can't hit it. That's the other thing that you notice about Shields here in the early going is the head is picking up home plate quicker than it did last year, not yanking it out of there so quick.
Wieters chops it to the right side. Zobrist with a toss to first and a quick 1-2-3 in the top half of the 5th. Halfway through, no score. The Mosaic Company and the Rays working together in the fight to end hunger through home runs for food. With every Rays home run this year, the Mosaic Company donates $500 to local food banks through Feeding America Tampa Bay, Florida's leading hunger relief agency. So far, $500 has been donated to Feeding America Tampa Bay. B.J. Upton leads off the home half of the fifth. Then Matt Joyce and Kelly Shopping. B.J. takes that first pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball third. Right to Reynolds. Throw to first in time. Upton out of there. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Well, Dwayne, it was quite a process this offseason to put in the new AstroTurf, as the Rays have a new field surface this year in 2011. And as you can see it being installed throughout the course of the offseason, head groundskeeper Dan Moeller obviously was a very he was a witness to that, and then obviously you're on top of everything. Dan, how does this year's surface, at least what you're hearing so far, playing compared to years past?
Well, what the infielders are saying right now is it's playing great. They love it. It seems like it's a little bit slower than last year, and the ball is staying down more, which is everything they're looking for.
At Joyce fouls one back. What the individual strands? Is there a difference the way they sit or stand up?
Well, as opposed to the turf we had, the strands are actually standing up more, which will slow the ball down a little bit more.
Now, when you look out in the outfield and you get to the warning track, is there a difference with the warning track in keeping balls in play?
Yeah, AstroTurf put a little more sand in the warning track, which will make it a little bit slower. So if a fly ball were to hit the warning track, it would be a little bit deader and would eliminate some of the ground rule doubles.
So there you go, guys. A little bit slower. Warning track may not hop as much over the wall, so more balls in play. Maybe a couple of doubles or triples for the home team. Back to you.
All right. That's a great update on that new AstroTurf. There's ball 2 to Joyce, 2-1. And I like both those things, that the ball is playing a little slower through the infield, and that you're not going to expect to get that big bounce on the warning track. So the ball stays in play. Angling out from shorts, J.J. Hardy. Joyce is the second out. Well, the Orioles, no runs, 2 hits. The Rays, no runs, and the only base runners they've had, Longoria's walk in the first, and Joyce walked in the second inning. And as Shopping prepares to step in, the Rays are looking for their first hit.
Chris Tillman very quietly putting together a solid outing.
Retired 9 in a row. First pitch strike.
Yeah,
curveball.
Well, and that's what he's doing. He's mixing his pitches. He's not in any pattern. First pitch fastball strike, curveball. He's going to the changeup. Really has a nice mix going on. Matt Wieters, talking to Oriole pitching coach Mark Connor before the game, raved about Matt Wieters' ability to call a game, put down the right fingers. Says for a young catcher, he has a tremendous feel for the pitcher that's out there, what's working and what to call to keep a good mix going.
Shopping trying to wait on that breaking ball, and he fouled it.
In fact, he said that in the pregame meetings, when the catcher sits down with the pitcher, usually it's the starting pitcher, the catcher, the pitching coach get together to go over the lineup. He said, hey, listen, I'll interject if I disagree at any point, but Matt Wieters, this is your meeting. You run it. And so Matt Wieters will tell the pitcher how they're going to attack the hitters and go over the scouting report while Mark Connor observes.
Well, that's the way you would prefer it, really, to have a catcher who's in a position to take charge like that.
Oh, no question about it. I think what makes it, kind of surprising is how young Matt Wieters is. Most young catchers get to the big leagues as quick as he did. It's because of their stick, not necessarily their ability to call a game, where, I think the feeling down in the Oriole dugout is, hey, give us what you can offensively. They love the way that he calls the game and works with the pitching staff.
Well, he's just 24 years old, and I think at the beginning they thought they had a pretty good catch and throw guy, and it started with his hands. He's got pretty good sized hands, and that's good not only for a pitcher but for a catcher as well. 2-2. And there is a developing process. You know, there aren't many young catchers who can step right in and do everything that you want a young catcher to do. But I guess a guy who's 6'5" probably would have pretty good sized hands.
Yeah, he is a big body back there. You don't see many catchers lanky like that.
Chopik out on strikes, reaching for the fastball. 1, 2, 3 through 5, no score. Shields and Chris Tillman. Shields 5 innings with 7 strikeouts and a great variety of pitches. And really the same thing for Chris Tillman, the 22-year-old right-hander. He's given up only a couple of walks and has 3 strikeouts. And he's done a pretty good job of mixing his pitches as well. So we're scoreless through 5.
Both pitchers doing a very good job of using the entire strike zone, especially Tillman elevating that 4-seam fastball. He's got a few punch outs. Got Kelly Shopik twice, got Johnny Damon on that elevated 4-seam fastball to go with that hook, the changeup. James Shields, he's mainly keeping everything knees and down.
Hey, Sean Rodriguez is in the game. There's a first pitch, and he got under that curveball a little bit. It didn't quite have the bite. Ball 1 to J.J. Hardy. There's Sean Rodriguez. He's taken over at third for Evan Longoria, and that might tell us something right there. There's a strike.
Well, that would certainly explain the swing. You know, we talked about a 1-0 Evan Longoria hack. That did not look like it. Now with him coming out of the game.
That pitch a little low as Hardy held up in time. It's Laz Diaz umpiring at first. 2-1 the count. This one is down. Not to be critical, but I just thought that Hardy might want to take Laz Diaz with him in every series. You know, I mean, he wouldn't call obstruction out of last night. He wouldn't call a strike out of tonight. Ground ball third, and Rodriguez is there to scoop it over to first, and Hardy's out of there. 1 away. And it's time for tonight's trivia question presented by AT&T. Who would be the Rays' all-time winningest pitcher? That's our AT&T trivia question tonight. Now the top of the order, Brian Roberts. Strike 1. Shields with 7 strikeouts. He's walked 1. He gave up a base hit to Roberts in the first on a ball that was sinking as Matt Joyce approached it at right field, and Matt got a glove on it but could not make the catch. And then Lee singled. Derek Lee singled in the 4th and was erased on a double play ball. That's inside 1-1. Strike 1-2. Shields had made 66 pitches through 5, and a third of those came in the first inning, and he made 22. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's up to, let's see, he made 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 75 right now.
Up to the minute stats. By stats.
Foul ball by Roberts. 2-2. Nick Markakis on deck. Two balls, 2 strikes. Foul ball, so Roberts stays alive. Yankees beat the Tigers 10-6, and Teixeira hit another home run, a 3-run homer. So he has 2. And a full count. Missed by too much. Second full count he's had tonight. Or maybe the third. We'll check that. Foul ball, so we'll do it again. Yeah, he had two full counts in the first. One on Markakis and one on Luke Scott. He walked Markakis and then got Scott on a fly ball to center. And he's battling Roberts here with 1 out, bases empty, and a 3-2 count. And Roberts will give you a battle up there at the plate. High fly ball back into left. Damon has room. Johnny makes the catch. 2 outs. Big day tomorrow, Brian.
Yes, it is. And come out for the season's first Family Fun Day, presented by the St. Petersburg Times tomorrow when the Rays host the Orioles. First 10,000 kids 14 and under receive an AL East Championship mini banner presented by Sweet Bay Supermarket. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today.
It's always fun with all those youngsters in the ballpark.
It's loud.
It's a constant chirping noise. It's really great. The pitch is high to Nick
Not really
Markakis.
sure if you're at the ball game or a bird sanctuary.
1 ball, no strikes. That's a strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. Ian Kinsler hit another home run to start the game for Texas, and Texas has a 1-0 lead on Boston. So Kinsler has 2 home runs. Kinsler a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first off John Lackey.
Ian Kinsler, another one of those middle infielders at the top of the order that will get his money's worth on a swing.
Backhanded by Johnson. Shields covers to retire the side. Nice little play there. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 6th coming. Scoreless.
Let's take a look at tonight's Home Depot doing more on defense. Dan Johnson ranging to his right. The nice backhand. Gives the nice turn. Look at that beautiful feed toss to James Shields. Right on time to pick up the final out. That Foxmo, is that something?
Well, he's throwing it right to you in your easy chair in your living room. Better get over there and cover first.
Anything to the right side.
Reed Brignac takes a pitch low, 1-0. You know, as difficult as you might think a backhand is, that lead toss from that spot might be the more difficult part of that play.
Well, that's why you anticipate your pitcher being where he's supposed to be. You see where he's at, lead him right to the bag. He had time there, made a nice feed.
Reed takes a strike.
It's the bang-bang play, the one where you've got to go way in the hole, you've got a fast runner, and you almost, you know, the first baseman almost becomes a quarterback, where you've got a guy streaking across the middle, headed to first base, and you've got to put some hair on it and lead him. That's the tough one. Fortunately there, Dan Johnson was able to take his time and kind of lollipop it to James Shields, but...
Especially a slow-mo.
Yeah. He had a lot of time on that replay.
3-1. There's a high fly ball to straightaway center, but Jones with room to make the catch before he hits the track. That's the first out in the Rays' half of the sixth. So as the Rays come around to hit for the third time in their lineup, they're still looking for their first hit off Chris Tillman, who threw a no-hitter in April of 2010 for Norfolk. We referenced that when he really started to gain a lot of confidence using that cutter with his other pitches. They'd always liked his breaking ball, and so that curveball and that cutter was a part of that no-hitter, and he has added that to the collection of pitches he uses. 2-0 now. Two and one. Tillman 11-7 in 21 starts at Norfolk last year, and 2-5 in 11 starts for the Orioles with an earned run average of 387. He had 3 separate stints with Baltimore last year. Gave up 9 home runs in 53 2/3 innings, and he just walks Ben Zobrist. So Ben has seen a lot of pitches tonight out of that leadoff spot and is aboard with a 1-out walk. Our AT&T trivia question in play. Let's get the answer. Who's the Rays' all-time winningest pitcher? And again, our crew right on target with James Shields. He is the leading winner in Rays history with 56. 30 of those here at Tropicana Field.
Now I think Buck Showalter is anticipating exactly what I'm thinking up here, and that's in this game. You still don't have a base hit. You got a base runner. This would be the time to put somebody in motion, try to get something going offensively.
And the pitch is a strike.
Ben Zobrist is a guy who can steal a bag. You got an opportunity here. You got to, if your offense is not going to get it done from the batter's box, if you do get a base runner and he can run, you try to create something out on the base paths in this scoreless game. 91
pitches by Tillman, and Zobrist has seen 21 of those alone. Look out. The bat heads toward the screen in the on-deck circle, and the ball is fouled the other way. Rodriguez on deck, and the bat boys all had to duck that pitch, or that bat, as Damon fouled the pitch.
He goes over with the apology.
Yeah, Damon had that reaction of, you're playing one of those pickup games in the Sandlot, and you just lined it through the neighbor's window. I mean, that was his reaction there.
A pipe in broken glass sound.
2 strikes the count to Damon. Jeremy Accardo is now up in the bullpen for the Orioles. Upstairs, snap throw to first, wide to the foul side, and Zobrist is back in. Well, if you force him to do that, you might force him into a mistake.
And you keep talking about you get them throw the ball around, maybe they make a mistake, and Derek Lee needed all of that long, lanky 6'5" frame to come up with that throw by Matt Wieters.
So Tillman continues to keep an eye on Zobrist. And that pitch is strike 3 call. A 1-2 curveball for the second out. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Well, Dwayne, this would normally be the spot for Evan Longoria, but he left the game. And we're finding out now, as we'll look at that last swing right before he left the game, that he has a sore left oblique and that he'll be evaluated tomorrow. So sore left oblique muscle, and he'll be evaluated tomorrow, guys. That's the latest. Back to you.
Well, let's hope for the best there with that sore left oblique.
You don't like to hear that word when it comes to
a hitter or a pitcher or anybody.
Yeah, I mean, really, in baseball, oblique is a nasty word. So much torque and rotation in this game.
1 strike the count to Sean Rodriguez.
You know, whatever it is, like you said, Dwayne, let's hope it's minor.
One and one. Zobrist walked. Is at first. Cut it, the breaking ball. 1 and 2. Well, Sean Rodriguez down in the count now. He'd love to get a chance to see more right-handed pitching. See Tillman up to 97 pitches. Rodriguez fouls it. Sean 0 for 3 lifetime against Tillman and a couple of strikeouts in there. Again, Zobrist back in. And again to first. So Longoria, before he left, walked, and then, as we mentioned at the time, sort of served that line drive into center field in the 4th, and subsequently left with the sore oblique. The fastball up out of the strike zone, and Rodriguez did not chase it. He had trouble with a couple of breaking pitches from Tillman.
Can expect to see another one here.
2-2, and he fouls the fastball back. How about that? I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, you know, he's had success with the curveball. He's had a good one. Got Sean Rodriguez to swing wildly over. And so many times, the pitchers that have that 4-seam straight fastball that elevated up above the zone and that's taken for a ball, you follow that up with a curveball in the same plane. Gives the hitter fits. May do it here.
And he went around. So the breaking ball got him. He tried to check. That's 101 pitches for Tillman, and we are scoreless. or up to 6 months, same as cash, on furniture, TVs, appliances, and more. By Checkers, feast on. Tires Plus, thinking tires, think Tires Plus. And by your local Southern Ford dealers. Tropicana Field tonight, game 2 of the 3-game series between the Rays and the Orioles. With Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats with you. Thank you for looking in tonight. We've had quite a pitching matchup so far as we go to the 7th. James Shields with 84 pitches through 6 will face Derek Lee, Vladimir Guerrero, and Luke Scott. And that big cut and a miss on the changeup. Lee, thinking he might get a fastball there to start the inning, was ready for the fastball. And the 6'5", 35-year-old first baseman swung right over it. He lifts it to the right side. Zobrist out. Joyce in. Who's going to get it? Joyce is there, the right fielder. Matt takes care of it. 1 out in the 7th. Now it's Vladimir Guerrero. It's amazing just to watch him hit, isn't it?
You will see some funky swings from Vladimir Guerrero. He is not shy about using that bat.
He's waiting in. He's got a bat in his hand, and he's going to use it. And he does. A base hit into right. So Guerrero picks up the 3rd hit allowed by Shields.
James Shields furious with himself. He wanted that fastball in. He's done a nice job of working that late moving fastball in on Vladimir Guerrero's hands. He wants this pitch in. Out over the plate. Anytime you see that catcher reaching back out over the plate, bad things happen. And his reaction after giving up that hit, he knew it. He had the right idea and just didn't execute the pitch.
Now Luke Scott, 1 on, 1 out. Shields had retired 9 straight before giving up the base hit to Guerrero. Pitch inside a bit. 1-0. Big Poppy has hit his 2nd home run of the year. A 2-run home run for Boston, and the Red Sox lead Texas 2-1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Roberts has a hit. Lee has a hit, and Guerrero a hit. Markakis drew a walk. That's been the offense for Baltimore. For the Rays, Longoria walked, Joyce walked, and Zobrist walked. That's it for the home team. Ground ball right side. Johnson down to 2nd. Out there. Brignac still to 1st. Skips past Shields, and Shoppett gets the carom as he was hustling down trying to back it up. So the Rays do not get the double play, but Guerrero is forced at 2nd base, and Scott reaches safely at 1st.
They had the opportunity. Dan Johnson, nice feed here, enough on the throw for Reed Brignac to be able to get out of the way, but just doesn't get enough on it. James Shields not able to come up with a backhanded pick. Dan Johnson has a nice feed here and puts enough on it. You got to get rid of it in a hurry.
And now Scott's going to leave the game. Buck Showalter wants a pinch runner, and it will be Felix Pie. So Pie will run at 1st with 2 outs here in the 7th inning, and Adam Jones coming up. PA is back in. Quick move over there by Shields.
Yeah, right in the middle of his delivery. Quick feet. Strong, accurate throw. They almost get him.
Sharply hit foul toward the Baltimore bullpen. Jones is grounded to third. Last time up, hit a fly ball to right. That's the big right-hander Farnsworth, Kyle Farnsworth up, and now Jake McGee, the lefty, is going to join him. So action in the Rays bullpen. And a tap to short, charged by Brignac. Throw to first in time, retiring the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. Seventh inning stretch. Manny Ramirez will open the bottom of the seventh. You're looking at Chris Tillman, who has thrown 6 no-hit innings, and he's going to be lifted after 101 pitches. We've got a scoreless ball game, and Jeremy Accardo will take over. You see Accardo from a year ago. And the first man he faces is Manny Ramirez. The fastball is high. Felix PA stays in the game and left after pinch running for Scott. Close to Manny there with another fastball. And the count is 2-0. Accardo split last year, most of it with Las Vegas, but some time with Toronto. Manny swings through the fastball. It's 2-1. Manny with 2 lifetime at bats against Accardo. He's 1 out of 2 against him. And a popper right side fastball got in on him. And that's Lee, the first baseman, Derek Lee, up the right side.
Jeremy Accardo did a nice job there with Manny Ramirez after falling behind 2-0. He gets him to reach for a fastball and a 2-0 count away from him with the long swing, and then recognizing that darts went in on the hands, it gets the easy pop-up. And right after getting the swing on the pitch away, he comes right back. You see that late movement. It's able to get in on the hands of Manny Ramirez.
Now Dan Johnson. He took a big rip. Missed the off-speed pitch. That's a strike. Accardo a few years ago with the Blue Jays had 30 saves if you go back to 07.
Yeah, how about that sequence if you're Dan Johnson? You're going to throw a change-up middle in. I'm going to swing it right over the top of and then come back with a backdoor cutter.
And he checked in time on the fastball. We've seen that fastball in the 90 to 92 range, and then the change and the cutter to go with it so far. Ball. Roberts backhands at second and throws against his momentum across his body, and Johnson is the second out.
Well, it was a nice play by Brian Roberts because he had to go a long way to get to that ball. Had to get rid of it quick. This is a long way. You see here in Foxmo, has to turn, get rid of it quick, accurate. Makes a nice play.
Big swing and a miss on the first pitch fastball. Well, the Orioles got a great effort from Tillman, who was moved up in the rotation because Brian Mattis had the strained intercostal muscle, and they're not sure how long he's going to miss, but that's something that could cost him a month and a half.
Yeah, that's another one of those nasty words in baseball when you're talking about injuries. The intercostal kind of sounds like a strip of land.
Hey, there's a line drive and a base hit into center field, and B.J. Upton has the first Rays hit of the night. 2-out single here in the seventh. Now B.J. with a 1-1 count, singles into center.
Simple approach here by B.J. Upton. Ball right down the middle. He takes it right back from whence it came. Nice easy stroke. Just lines it out into center field, and now the Rays here with 2 outs have a base runner.
Well, it's amazing how those numbers work out. B.J. now 4 out of 8 against Accardo, and he's the guy to get the base hit.
Sometimes you see the ball out of a certain pitcher's hand better than others.
And now Matt Joyce faces Accardo for the first time. Matt was on base with a walk in the second, had a good at bat to draw that walk against Tillman. He'll keep an eye over there on B.J. Upton. 6 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 101 pitches for the 22-year-old Chris Tillman. There goes Upton, a pitch out, and a double pop, and he steals it. Upton got a good jump. They called for the pitch out, and Wieters had trouble finding the handle.
Well, the Rays trying to create some offense. 2 outs. B.J. Upton, 3 straight seasons of over 40 stolen bases. You figure he's going to go. Baltimore read it correctly, but right here on the exchange, Matt Wieters not able to get it cleanly, giving B.J. plenty of time to get in there safely.
So now they'll walk Joyce intentionally. Setting up first and second with 2 outs. Well, Shopik is on deck. The Rays have Jaso and Full as left-handed hitters if they want to go that way, and Elliott Johnson a switch hitter. But Shopik's on his way to the plate. Shopik 0 for 2. He struck out twice against Tillman. Tillman got him on fastballs twice. So Joe Madden decides to stay with the right-handed swinging Kelly Shopik. Ricardo, 2 on, 2 out. Shopik swings through the first pitch, then had a little late action on it.
And that was that little cut fastball. He elevated that one. Kelly swung through it, but that's been the game plan against him all night long. Chris Tillman elevating the 4-seamer, getting Shopik to swing through it numerous times tonight.
Swing and a miss, and you know, only now after Shopik got up there and missed the first pitch did Gonzalez, the left-hander, start to loosen in the bullpen for the Orioles.
If you wanted to pinch hit right there, either Fold or John Jaso, you absolutely could have. Joe Madden said, "This is Kelly Shopik's game. I'm going to put my faith in him. See how it turns out."
And a liner into left. That's going to fall. Base hit. They're going to send Upton to the plate. The throw is in time. Felix Piet to the plate to Wieters, and they get Upton and prevent the Rays from scoring the first run of the game. Shopik on an 0-2 pitch lined a base hit into left, and Piet throws out B.J. Upton to retire the side. Here it is. We remain scoreless. Rays picking up a couple hits in the inning, but denied a run by Felix Piet.
0-2 base hit there by Kelly Shopik, but the strong throw right on the money. Matt Wieters doing a great job of protecting home plate, not letting BJ Upton anywhere near it.
And now Reynolds starts the 8th with a roller foul. Yeah, you're right. The throw was absolutely perfect, and so was Wieters at the plate. BJ just could not get in there.
No, there was nowhere to go. Felix Piet was very accurate with the throw, gave Matt Wieters a nice hop to handle.
Liner into center and a base hit. Reynolds with a leadoff single. So that's hit number 4, given up by Shields. Both bullpens have been busy. The Rays had Jake McGee up, and he's joined by Kyle Farnsworth. Matt Wieters is the hitter. One ball, no strikes. Wieters twice is grounded to the second baseman Zobrist. Runner takes off and a ground ball to second. Zobrist stops it. He'll have to go to first. Out there, and Reynolds moves up.
What a great play by Ben Zobrist. That ball, runner is running on the pitch. Boy, he does a nice job diving to his right, knocking that ball down and making the play. But I'll tell you what, that gets under his glove, and you're talking about first and third now with nobody out. Keeps that ball in the infield. Gets the out. Huge play by Ben Zobrist in a scoreless game. Made a nice play last night going to his left. Shows the range to the right there.
So Reynolds is now at second. One away. The hitter's J.J. Hardy. One ball, no strikes. Eighth inning. That's a strike around the knees. The Orioles have a man at second base for the first time tonight since the first inning. A pop foul back this way, and it's just below us. One ball, two strikes. This will be the 100th pitch of the night thrown by James Shields. We'll see some great pitching tonight. And a nice cover up by Shopik right there on the changeup as Hardy laid off. 2-2. Full count, fastball missed out.
Well, he got that call earlier in the at-bat, tried to go back. The fastball down and in. That one just a little further down. Hardy lays off. Changeup time.
3-2. And ball 4. Went back into that same spot and missed again. So 2 men on with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Here's another look.
Well, you're right, Dwayne. He went back in there. One last shot. Does not get the call. And that's going to end his night.
Joe Madden out of the dugout. Rays will make a call to the bullpen. This call brought to you by Metro PCS. Wireless for all, and a good hand for the departing James Shields. He pitched one heck of a game tonight for the Rays. Moments, a combination of the night for James Shields. 7 1/3 innings, allowing 4 hits. He struck out 7, walked 2. Made 102 pitches. He's responsible for the 2 men on base, but boy, what a job.
And James Shields was on from the beginning of this ball game. Had all his stuff working. When he was missing down in the zone. Everything was driving downhill.
And if you were with us earlier in the telecast, it was very evident that he was on tonight. So a very good first start of the year for James Shields. And now Jake McGee's on with runners at first and second, and Brian Roberts turns around to bat right-handed.
And Jake McGee's got a 2-hitter window here. You flip Brian Roberts around, you have Nick Markakis in the on-deck circle.
And Roberts tends to be a better hitter left-handed than right-handed.
And you see that a lot of times, most times out of switch hitters. And the reason being, a lot more right-handed pitchers, you see a lot more at-bats from the left side.
There's a strike. Shopik ready to take a quick look at first, and even though he was on the move behind the plate, he got that call for the strike. The breakout for his career, lefty righty. The turn, but nothing doing at second. Zobra's breaking to the bag, and Reynolds getting back in. Mark Reynolds at second, J.J. Hardy at first. Roberts 1 for 3 on the night. And a high shot back into deep left. That's going to go. Home run. A fastball. And Roberts turns on it. That fastball in around 92. And that makes it 3-0. That was not the vintage Jake McGee fastball.
No, Joe Madden making the call to turn Brian Roberts around, but I don't care where you turn a hitter. You throw a fastball right there, you have a good chance to get hurt. That ball right down the middle, belt high. Brian Roberts puts a charge into it, gives the Orioles a 3-0 lead.
There's Nick Markakis.
That was
outside.
a fastball that did not have the juice on it. It didn't have any movement. It stayed thigh high, middle of the plate.
Yeah, you expect the mid-90s fastball from McGee and sometimes upper 90s. High pop foul. That's going to carry out a play.
Now, especially in a high-pressure situation like that with runners on base late in the game, you would think the adrenaline, you juice that fastball up there, but it didn't happen.
Well, Roberts had a big hit last night in the 5th inning when he got that triple on a 3-2 curveball off David Price. Good cut and a miss.
That's what you're looking for. 95, the little jump on the end.
So 2 of those runs charged to Shields. And a wave and a miss. And he overpowered Markakis, that one at 97. So the last 2 at 95 and 97, as opposed to the 92 that Roberts hit out.
Now, this is the fastball. When you think of Jake McGee and the big arm, 97 miles an hour. It has that late life at the end, that little jump.
So Joe Madden makes another pitching change. McGee departs. Back in a moment. Ram Trucks by Checkers, Feast On, and by Autoway. Autoway, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. It's a 3-0 ball game. 2 runs charged to Shields and 1 to McGee. Derek Lee to face Kyle Farnsworth, and that first pitch is wide, a fastball at 96. 1 ball, no strikes.
And I think that outing for Jake McGee, he can learn a valuable lesson from that. You know, this is a part of the game where coming in, he's going to face 2 hitters. And that's it. That's going to be his night. The way that he pitched to Brian Roberts, it was almost like he was pacing himself as if he was a starter. You got 2 hitters and you've got 97 miles an hour in the tank. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see pitch at 92 and then jump up to 97, you know, if you need it. You know, you need it. You need it there. You come in, you got 2 hitters, you got about 10 pitches, let it fly.
A ball, 2 strikes to Derek Lee. He shoots it into right center field. That's a base hit, cut off by Joyce. So Lee takes the fastball at 97 the other way. And Farnsworth surrenders the base hit. Now Vladimir Guerrero. So the Orioles with a 3-run 8th. Now another man aboard with 2 outs. Guerrero pops it up the right side. That's going to be a foul ball, and Johnson cannot catch up to it. So Dan Johnson trying to get there, but he comes up short. Shields, McGee, and now Farnsworth. Guerrero sends one deep to center. Upton on the run, and VJ gets there to retire the side. Well, the big blow of the inning. The home run off the bat of Brian Roberts. We go to the home half of the 8th, 3-0 Baltimore.
Of the 8th, put yourself to the ultimate test at TampaBay.com/FanDuel for your chance to win real money with your sports knowledge. Play today and win today at TampaBay.com/FanDuel. That's TampaBay.com/FanDuel.
Elliot Johnson is pinch hitting to open the bottom of the 8th, batting for Brainiac, and as he shortens on that bat as if to put down a bunt, he takes the pitch low for a ball. Michael Gonzalez, the new pitcher. Johnson, 27 years old. And he takes the pitch for a strike. He made the club out of spring training. Elliott did, as really as the super sub. Upstairs from Gonzalez. 2 balls and a strike. And he bunts foul. Rays need base runners, and Johnson trying to bunt his way on. Count is 2-2. Johnson honored as the Rays' most outstanding rookie in spring training, and that's the second time he's won that. He won it in 2008 and again this year. And now it's a full count. So Johnson pinch hitting, trying to work his way aboard. And he checks in time to draw the walk. So Johnson pinch hitting is aboard. Gonzalez lost his footing after delivering that pitch. And we'll go to the top of the order and Ben Zobrist. Well, there's one base runner the Rays need. One upstairs. 1-0. Gonzalez can get wild from time to time. 32-year-old left-hander. A good arm, but control sometimes is an issue. And he misses up again.
And that one he tried to lay in there. You know, Gonzalez is a maximum effort kind of a guy. Oftentimes flying off towards third base pretty violently. That's where the inconsistency and the command comes from.
And up again.
It's almost like a muted Mitch Williams. The way Mitch Williams used to spin off. And he could ride the roller coaster of having some inconsistent outings. Michael Gonzalez, the same thing right here.
Runner at first. 3-0 the count to Zobrist. And Ben draws the walk, and the Rays have those two runners they need. Back to back, bases on balls. So Williams walks two here. Same two teams tomorrow. Wade Davis and Zach Britton will make his major league debut. Koji Mihara in the bullpen for Baltimore now. Gonzalez out there replacing Jeremy Accardo, who pitched one inning, gave up a couple hits, no runs. And now Johnny Damon. Damon 0 for 3. And he takes a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. And now Gonzalez will get a visit from the Orioles pitching coach, Mark Connor. So the Rays trying to come back here. Reminder to join us for the opening week. It continues not only tomorrow, but Tuesday and Wednesday when the Rays host the Los Angeles Angels. Tickets start at just $9. So grab some friends and make some memories. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today. And that pitch is down, and Damon did not offer. 2-0, so that's 12 pitches and 10 out of the strike zone from Gonzalez.
Yeah, and most of those 10 out of the strike zone have not been very close. These aren't borderline pitches. He's missing badly.
And he throws a strike. 2-1.
Now he puts that pitch there again, and we're looking at a tie ball game.
Two-one pitch. And Damon swings and misses that slider right there.
That's exactly right. Behind in the count, Johnny Damon is betting the farm he's going to get a fastball. He does a nice job of staying in on lefties, but Gonzalez gives him the slider, and he's out in front over the top.
And he pops it down the left side into foul territory. Reynolds, and he makes the catch. And the runners will hold at first and second. So Gonzalez gets the left-handed bat of Johnny Damon. Sean Rodriguez will be the hitter, and Buck Showalter's up out of the dugout and on his way to the mound. So the Orioles will go to the bullpen again, and we'll be back right after this.
by Viagra. Rays down 3-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. Got a couple base runners aboard. Got a pitching change. Buck Showalter goes to his bullpen. Brings in the right-hander, Koji Uehara. Busy last year, 43 games he appeared in. Got some save opportunities. Did a nice job towards the end of the season with those. Very good ERA, 2.86. How about the strikeout to walk ratio?
Yeah, he was just unconscious when it came to that, I'll tell you.
Goodness.
Sam Fold will now pinch hit for Rodriguez. And the pitch is a strike. Johnson at second. Zobrist at first. One out. Uehara, the fourth Baltimore pitcher of the game. Cole takes it upstairs. It's 1-1. That pitch is a strike. It's 1-2. Takes a look at strike 3. Uehara comes into the game and gets a call, third strike.
Right there, fastball in a perfect spot, down and away. Really worked Fold over in that at bat. Follows the changeup with a good fastball. Gets the call from Wally Bell. Uehara he's not overpowering. I mean, this is not like the guy coming out of the bullpen throwing 95 miles an hour, but he has a real good feel for pitching. He moves the ball around, good off speed.
And here's Manny Ramirez, a ground ball headed into left field, and that's going to go through, a base hit. Johnson's on his way to the plate. He will score, and the Rays are on the board. It's 3-1. So Ramirez got it through the hole between short and third. Johnson scores here in the 8th inning. Zobrist stops at second as Manny Ramirez picks up his first hit as a Ray, and it drives in a run.
Well, the location was missed there, and this ball stayed out over the plate. Manny got just enough of it to get it by the diving J.J. Hardy. Now, 2 outs. Elliott Johnson's going to score easily, and the Rays climb back to within 2.
Well, Johnson has scored the first run, and here's another Johnson, Dan Johnson, with a chance maybe to do some more damage. Oh, check swing and a little looper that's foul and out of the reach of Reynolds. Strike 1. Dan Johnson with 2 lifetime at bats against Uehara, and one of them a strikeout. And he's reaching for that one. 0-2.
Well, Uehara does a nice job with the fastball and the changeup of keeping it down and away. The hitter's never really sure what it's going to be, and you saw the in-between swing there by Dan Johnson.
A little roller to second. Roberts picks it up, and the throw to Lee at first retires the side. The Rays get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 2. We go to the 9th, 3-1 Baltimore. As we go to the ninth, reminder fans, if you attend a home game and the Rays pitchers log 10 strikeouts, take your ticket stub to any Cane's Furniture store, get a coupon for a free Papa John's pizza. Plus, sign up at Cane's Furniture for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. Cane's, quality so good it's guaranteed for life. Well, Johnny Damon comes in from left field to play first base as we go to the ninth, and Dan Johnson moves across to play third. Elliott Johnson is the shortstop now, and Sam Fold is in the game and left. Joel Peralta is the new Rays pitcher. And PA grounds it to second on the first pitch, handled by Zobrist. So PA, who entered the game as a pinch runner in his first at bat, is out 4-3.
How about the year that Joel Peralta had last year? Washington Nationals, good earned run average, barely over 2. Another walk to strikeout ratio, outstanding. 49 punch outs, 9 walks. That opponent's average just 170.
He faces Adam Jones.
Didn't realize that Washington was going that good to let him go.
Yeah, he put up great numbers. He spent time with Syracuse and Washington, and the better part of the year actually with the Nationals. He had 20 saves at Syracuse at an earned run average of 108 there. And then just over 2 with Washington in 39 games. They used him a lot in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings.
Well, what you really like is that strikeout to walk ratio, 49 strikeouts, 9 walks, coming out of the bullpen, pitching late in the game. You got to be able to pump strikes and pump quality strikes.
And there's a strike on a cutter. Yeah, the later it got in the year, the stingier he got. If you look at what he did from the first week in August to the end of the season, he struck out 31 and walked only 4.
And it's locked in.
And he's ahead of Jones, 2 strikes. Two-run ball game right now, top of the 9th. A ball and 2 strikes. Peralta, 35 years old. He's the 4th pitcher for the Rays tonight. Shields was absolutely outstanding. 7 1/3, 2 runs, 4 hits. Foul. McGee worked the 3rd. He was charged with a run. Gave up the home run to Brian Roberts. Farnsworth worked the 3rd. Gave up a hit, no runs. And now Peralta. Two again, and he got him. Boy, that pitch, the split just disappeared. That is the big pitch for Peralta.
Well, how about this? Gone right there. Every bit as effective as a James Shields changeup. Get that good downward action. You keep it away from the hitter. It appears to be a strike for a long way. By the time you commit, bottom's out.
And now Reynolds, it's a little tapper foul back. Strike 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to figure Mark Reynolds is going to see a few of those.
Well, Reynolds saw a lot of changeups from Shields. He managed to get a base hit in the 8th inning. But how about that? Change-ups and splits all night.
Oh, and you have the kind of swing and you're the kind of hitter that Mark Reynolds is, you can plan on getting a steady dose of that all year long. I think that's why you see the strikeout numbers the way they are for him.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He had just a tad under 500 at bats last year and struck out a few ticks over 200.
Pitch drops low. 2-1. The Rays in the bottom of the 9th. Right now, due to have Upton, Joyce, and Shopping. Barrel back. That takes the count to 2-2. Well, Peralta with 2 strikes on the hitter. That split was very good to Adam Jones. So you'd expect that here to Reynolds. And a ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Zobrist. Throw to first. Got it. How about that play by Ben Zobrist? He had some time with Reynolds down the line, and Ben makes another outstanding play up the middle. Rays need 2 to keep it going with Upton, Joyce, and Shopping due.
The Rays have all been turned in by Ben Zobrist, including this play up the middle to end the top half of the 9th inning. Guys, in our Rays Live postgame show, we'll hear from the Rays clubhouse. Also, Joe Madden. We'll have Laura McKeeman with us as she'll go down to the clubhouse. And, of course, Dwayne and Brian with their thoughts. Guys, hopefully talking about a Rays come-from-behind victory. Back to you.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Rays will face Kevin Gregg coming over to close for Baltimore. And the first pitch to Upton, base hit into left. So BJ jumps on the first pitch, and the Rays have their leadoff hitter aboard. Well, just like that, the Rays will get the potential tying run to the plate.
BJ Upton doesn't waste any time. He gets a fastball out over the plate. Yeah, short, quick swing. Shoots that ball out into the left field, and the Rays get their most dangerous base runner out on first base to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning.
And here's Matt Joyce. Swinging and missing, strike one.
See Kevin Gregg's numbers from last year. Appeared in 63 games, 37 out of 43 in the save department.
Pitch is down. Is 1-1. Gregg, 32 years old. He's been with 4 teams in the last 4 years. Joyce fouls the fastball back. 1-2. Well, the Rays knocked on the door in the 7th when they had Upton thrown out at the plate. They managed to get 1 run across in the 8th inning when Ramirez drove in Elliott Johnson. Now the 2-2 to Matt Joyce, and he nubs it foul.
Well, Kevin Gregg, understanding that Matt Joyce has good pull power, right center, right field, staying away from Matt Joyce, hard and soft. Saying if you're going to hit me out of the ballpark, you're going to have to do it the other way.
Ground ball, right side. Roberts to Hardy, 1. First base, not in time. Orioles thought they had the double play, and Joyce just beat it in. Upton forced at second.
Now this is exactly what Kevin Gregg wants. Go away. Matt Joyce tries to pull it. Orioles with a chance to turn the double play, and they may have gotten him. That was close. See the throw. Boy, it sure looked like they were able to complete that double play. Laz Diaz says otherwise.
So Kelly Shopik now to hit against the right-hander Gregg. Pitch is down. Shopik 0 for 2 lifetime against Gregg. 1 for 3 tonight. One and one. Bottom of the 9th, 1 on, 1 out. Pitch is wide. 2-1. Down. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. And there's ball 4. So Shopik draws the walk. Joyce goes to second. So the Rays now will see John Jaso run for Shopik at first. So Jaso is the pinch runner, and Elliott Johnson will hit left-handed now against Gregg. Johnson walked as a pinch hitter in the 8th and has scored the only run for the Rays tonight. Fouls this one back. Out of play, strike 1. Johnson getting his first look at Greg. Upton's base hit started this. He was forced at second by Joyce, and then the walk to Shopik with Jaso running, and there was a strike at the knees, putting Elliott Johnson down 0-2. Pitch taken away off the plate. Tillman, Ricardo, Gonzalez, Wejhala, and Gregg. Ricardo's the pitcher of record right now for Baltimore. And strike 3 called. Gregg caught the outside corner. A fastball out there. And here's another look.
Well, we'll see. That was off the plate. And you can follow this camera angle, follow it right down. That's almost on the white chalk line of the third base batter's box. Gets the call from Wally Bell.
And that's a true angle this year. That's something different in our coverage. That is a true angle right down across home plate.
Well, you love that camera angle because you can follow it straight in. There's no guesswork, and that ball was clearly outside, but the call goes against Elliott Johnson.
Well, now Ben Zobrist. Ben's drawn a couple of walks tonight. Swings and hits one. High and deep to right. All the way to the track. A leap by Markakis. He caught the ball. Markakis caught this ball. Markakis with an unbelievable grab on the drive off the bat of Ben Zobrist. And with that catch, the Baltimore Orioles win this game 3-1. Zobrist put a charge into it, and Markakis stayed with it with a leapy catch against the wall. And the Rays are beaten tonight 3-1. Wow, the Rays did everything but win this one.
Didn't think Nick Markakis had a chance to get to this ball. First of all, off the bat, you're thinking out of the yard. But Markakis hustling back, the jump, what a catch. The second tremendous play out there in right field by Nick Markakis tonight. Ben Zobrist gave it a bid.
Well, Ben Zobrist has made some great defensive plays tonight, and he is victimized by that great defensive play by Markakis. And it closes this one out. Baltimore 3 and the Rays 1. Ricardo will get the win. Shields suffering the loss, and it is a tough luck loss for Shields. Gregg will pick up a save before 22,164 in 2 hours and 51 minutes. The Orioles have taken the first 2 games of this series in an unbelievable fashion. A superb catch by Nick Markakis to rob Ben Zobrist. And the Rays drop this one 3-1. Tough loss here. Stay with us. Rays Live, the postgame coming up. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, I'm Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, a frustrating final. Baltimore 3, the Rays 1. Same 2 teams tomorrow. We'll be with you on Sun Sports for the afternoon affair. Wade Davis against Zach Britton. See you on the postgame in a moment.